legal end, has been sitting in.
I'm saying
Oh, yes.
so he knows that this eccentric person comes to the house. The brother's a good man, Edgar. But you will restore our family to greatness, Edgar. Your brother's a good man, Edgar. But you will restore our family to greatness.
Tell him.
Well, I'll just get her over there.
Plastic to fill this in?
That was just to make up for the one like
We have it right there.
Edgar, it's good to see you.
Lawrence.
I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Clyde Tolson. Graduated from George Washington University tonight with a law degree.
Congratulations, Mr. Tolson.
Thank you, sir. I believe you're our most distinguished alumni.
I mean, not that I got like this. I'm just going to lower again. As far back.
Did you see the child with your own eyes?
Well, those aren't details that I would care to disclose with a refined group of women such as yourselves. I couldn't bear to make a single one of you shed a tear, but I assure you of this. We are on the case.
I saw the Lindberghs in Paris. I hardly recognized them.
Yeah, I don't know how literal it's all good, but just in case. Push it towards him. Push it. There you go. How's that?
Good.
Without arms, without the ability to make arrests, it means nothing. Mr. Chairman, I urge passage of the Lindbergh Law, making kidnapping a federal offense, to immediately deliver all fingerprints in this country to my office so that we may create a central file, to help arm our agents so that they have a fighting chance against the submachine guns of some of the most dangerous characters in the history of American criminality. And I urge you to do this in the name of little Indy, because if he can be taken, then what child is safe? But do you know what all the power of the Bureau of Investigation means without federal laws, without arms, without the ability to carry weapons? It means nothing.
Is it true that you directly or indirectly spend the Bureau's money on advertising?
We are not permitted to engage in advertising of any kind, sir.
But you take part, for instance, in the making of radio shows and comic books. I've seen several of these G-Men programs. Your picture seems to be shown in conjunction with them quite frequently. What are your exact qualifications for your position of leadership in this Bureau?
My qualifications, sir, my qualifications, 19 years with the Department of Justice, 12 as director, 12.
In all that time, you ever make an arrest yourself?
I've made investigations. I administer several cases at once.
That's not what I asked.
Your Honor, I would like to call to the stand Mr. Charles Lindbergh. Picking up where you left off.
Yeah, yes.
And between those numbers are some words. It looks like Decatur and Sedgwick. You see that? You know what that means, don't you? That address on there.
Not exactly.
It is the address and telephone number of Dr. Condon, the man who paid the ransom, written in your writing, found on a board in your closet. And when you saw this piece of wood, you said, quote, "That's my lumber."
I said
Isn't
yes.
that so? In the Bronx, that's what you said.
I said yes without thinking.
You don't usually do things without thinking. You have a very good mind, haven't you?
I don't think so, not so good.
Oh, but you really do think so, don't you?
Guys, can we clear everybody out from underneath the plane?
FBI, put your hands up! Is there a problem? Get out of the car!
Mr. Bruno Hauptmann, you are under arrest for the kidnapping and murder of Charles Lindbergh, Jr. Mr. Jones, I want you to cut that lock and check that check immediately.
Absolutely.
Okay, stop. Good.
A little bit each time. You might have to eat my help. Sure. The crimp stock on that.
Slow it down. Bouncing off there. Put the cuffs on him. Mr. Coppice, you are under arrest. Put the handcuffs on him.
Looks like I'm gonna be famous.
Save it for the press, Mr. Coppice. Come on. Take him to the car.
And temperament. And as such, I claim the right to rebel and resist invasion by all means, force included. Consequently, a destructionist.
Coming in, too.
Do you mean to tell me that there is no law under which you can issue a warrant for the arrest of an alien when I have certified that he is subject to deportation?
Without any evidence, Mr. Attorney General, no. There exists a due process of law.
Due process of law? What about the threat to our country?
Right over there, gentlemen. I want to know who they are, where they're from, what group they belong to, what they say.
To have already committed crime.
I could care less whether they've committed a crime and more whether they intend to. Yes? Only you four, for now.
I'll have locks installed.
No locks, Miss Gandy. That would draw too much attention. And nothing is to be alphabetically ordered. The cards are to be broken down into subjects and categories. Now, the system should prove easy enough if explained. If not, finding information should prove impossible. Trust no one, not even our fellow agents. Half of our staff are on both sides of the payroll.
But the crimes we're investigating aren't crimes, they're ideas.
Well educated, highly recommended, willing to guarantee 5 years service, has a family in New York, and a new baby.
No one of you.
The family in New York or the baby?
Scandy, 5 years is not enough. We need men willing to dedicate their lives to this bureau. How many is that so far?
That's 320 denied and 21 interviews.
Scandy, suppose I had private information on someone in a position of power. Harmful information. Now, it goes against my very nature to destroy such information, but I don't trust it in the general files either. Could I trust it with you if we were to create a confidential file?
Of course, Edgar. Well, if you could conduct the entire interview from behind your desk instead of walking about the office, I could correct that.
Indeed.
Well educated, highly recommended, willing to guarantee 5 years service, has a family in New York, and a new baby.
No one of you.
Family in New York or the baby?
Scandy, 5 years is not enough. We need men willing to dedicate their lives. How many is that so far?
320 denied and 21 interviews. His only interest in the Bureau is to gain experience that would benefit a private law practice, and he has no interest in being here for any period of time, which would render employment speculative. He did receive a letter of recommendation from the executive assistant of the Secretary of War.
Yeah.
Have a seat, Mr. Tolson.
Mr. Hoover, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Please, take a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Now, there were several problems with your application, Mr. Tolson. Not the least of which is the fact that you did not show the proper dedication to the Bureau, nor the dedication to the protection of the American people or the American way. May I remind you that this is not a platform to a fatter paycheck in private practice, Mr. Tolson. May I remind you that this is not a platform to a fatter paycheck in private practice, Mr. Tolson. Is there something the matter?
No, sir. No. Is exercise a requirement for all agents, sir?
Yes, all our agents must be in top physical condition. We must outsmart and outmatch the public enemy at every turn.
Front to back?
Anywhere. May I remind you that the Bureau of Investigation seeks to be your protector. It belongs to you. It is as close to you as your nearest telephone. And with your help, the American gangster's days are numbered. Thank you.
Should we tell the Attorney General?
Why, so he can say no for a third time? Just post a sign, like this one.
What do you want it to say? Keep out?
The Bureau of Investigation's Technical Laboratory. Have it carved in wood and nailed to the wall. This time we at least had one thing the bad guys don't.
Have it your way, Attorney General. I'll just tell the American people that we could not solve the Lindbergh case because we cannot afford the proper laboratory. And the Attorney General would not even allow us to use his smoking lounge.
Fine. Now get your science fair project out of here.
On, gentlemen.
He claims to be the world expert on wood analysis.
It's easy to be the expert if you're the only person in the world with any interest.
He also claims he can tell as much from a cut of wood as a doctor can from an autopsy. He does have some social difficulties.
Is he mentally ill?
He's only as mad as you are, sir.
The New York Motor Vehicles Bureau describes it as a dark blue 1930 Dodge sedan. The owner is a carpenter who was born in Germany, lives at 1279 East 222nd Street in the Bronx. His name is Bruno Richard Hauptmann.
So I use that as a template in my director's cut.
Justice, thanks for getting me politically attacked. Do you expect crimes to go unsolved? I don't. Just saw the file and set it together. 4 agents on him at all times. I want you to go through his trash and photograph everything. Not getting in the car, you can walk.
Thank you.